Mark here from Viper's Eclectic Creations. This is my first video on my new channel. I'm out in the garage today, kind of cold in the lower 20s out here, but I've been making coin rings for about 2 months, and I was using the Harbor Freight punch set. I was drilling, and I found that on the smaller coins and the smaller diameters, I wasn't having a whole lot of trouble keeping things in the center. But as I got into the larger coins, 50-cent pieces, dollars, bullion of course, and 1-ounce rounds and other things, I found deflection, it didn't fit. I just was having all kinds of trouble holding center, so I found myself filing as much as anything. In any case, today I'm really excited because I'm going to do a first look review on Legacy brand Mega Punch. What is that called? Legacy brand Mega Coin Ring Center Punch and Spacer Set. And I'm really excited about this because I'm finding that the hardest time I have, believe it or not, is just keeping things centered. And I've looked at a lot of the punch sets out there, and they are all really nice. I mean, I'm not going to name names. You can all look them up. But what I was looking for was, I do a lot of foreign coins. I do coins of every size, and I just wanted something that covered, the whole gamut, but I could afford. And this kind of fit the bill. I'm not saying this is the best. I'm not saying it's the worst. I have no idea. I just opened this package up a little over an hour ago. So I am completely doing this just, off the cuff, raw. But we'll get to it. The Legacy brand folks give you a really nice instruction sheet explaining that it's a two-piece punch and die made out of 01 tool steel, heat treated. I'm going to assume that the punches and dies are similar. You get a 10-piece punch and die set, which would be covering 3/8, 7/16, 1/2, 9/16, and 5/8. And the bottom and the die goes into the bottom die holder, and the punch goes into the top punch holder. You put it together. Oh yeah, we'll get to the pink in a second. That didn't come that way. And then you get 61 different 3D printed spacers, and that should cover just about every coin that I want to deal with. And if not, apparently you can put a paper towel in there to take up any empty space. So what I want to do today is create a video on a complete newbie like me. I just got this stuff. I don't know anything about it. I only know how to do the Harbor Freight stuff, stick it in there, great, because I'm off tense, and then, whatever. So, as I said, I opened this up about an hour ago, and I'll kind of go through it now with you. If you wonder about this pink that I did, but I noticed some of the punches are a little bit closer. The actual diameter of the punch shaft is about the size of the punch edge. So I kind of panicked and thought, oh boy, what would happen if I wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden you do it upside down. People do it with the Harbor Freight punches. I haven't done that, but you just never know. So my thinking was, if I just, because my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, my glasses, I need those replaced, yada yada yada. But I thought to myself, what if, like this for instance, if you just look really quickly, forget about the pink, it's really tough to tell unless you sit there and look and see, okay, that's slightly radiused, there's sharp, okay, he had a little scratchy stuff up there. So my idea is I just took this metal marker for what you'd use for raw, metal stock, and I just put pink on top. And then I just wrote pink up. So no matter what I do, I know I don't even have to really, you should think, but I don't have to think of it. As long as I have pink up, I know I'm good to go. I don't have to worry about screwing it up. So that's just my way of doing it. It's a help. It's a help for quick identification. So again, that works for me. It may not work for you. That's okay. So as I go through these, I'll probably edit some of this out. And here's your 5-piece punch and die. There's your body up and down. And I went ahead and annealed some coins here. Morgan silver dollar, a Kennedy 64, silver $1/2, a clad Virginia quarter, and one of my favorite coins is these Cinco Centavos from Mexico. These are about the size of a quarter, actually just a hair bigger. They polish up to the most beautiful, almost like a red bronzish gold color, but boy, they polish up really nice, and they work real well. But like I said, the biggest problem I was having was I couldn't seem to punch a nice center hole, and then you punch the 3/8, it ends up you file it to 390 or 410. I punch 437, I end up going, 460. I was just really struggling with that, so maybe I didn't know what I was doing. Well, so be it. So here I am, Legacy brand, Mega Coin Punch Center. So let's just see, just like anyone else, if you bought it, if I know what the heck I'm doing. Now they also made mention with these spacers. Okay, that's going to be a lot of spacers. Other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to put all this nice and neatly in here. But in the meantime, I'm going to probably struggle. So, but anyway, they were saying these are printed out on a 3D printer, and that there may be some jagged edging in there, which I can kind of see. But then they were good enough to supply you. Well, I better be careful if I drop those. It's going to be 61 spacer pickup. With a nice piece of 500 sandpaper. Still nice that they added it in case you didn't have it. So anyway, I'm hanging on to it. So here's the spacers. So let me see if I can try to find what I need to do here. And I'll just go ahead and leave the camera run, and I'll probably speed it up. So the quarter, I'll do 3/8. The Cinco Centavo, I'll do 7/16. The Kennedy 1/2, and then the Morgan 5/8. Just I'll go 9/16. So 5/8 I don't want to do so at this point. So that way I'll see how they work. I'll see how it works. So while you see me speed up again, and I'm sorry about the mess out here around me. It's really messy. It's winter time here, and I had to jam a bunch of stuff in here I didn't really want to jam in here, and it's just kind of the way it goes. And like I say, half the time it's so freezing cold that. So, okay, well, this is I think until you get used to it, it's gonna, you guys can sit there and laugh, get your popcorn, say, what the heck is he doing? He doesn't even know what he's doing. Probably what I'll end up doing is I'll sit down one day and take a magic marker and write on the edges what these things are. A little closer. I'm going to break out the 500 grit because there is a little ledge in there, just a little teeny bit. Not any big deal, but it's just enough to stop me from getting that in there. So after hunting around, this one seems to be the closest one, and it does just have a little tiny bit of that, whatever they call it, a little extra slag or leftover plastic from the process. I'm glad they let us do it because, a lot of people would say, oh, you shouldn't have to do that when you buy something brand new. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want them to sit and sand it and you want them to charge an extra $50 for sanding, I appreciate that this is a very affordable. I'm not going to say the price, you can look it up yourself, but it was very affordable for all the versatility you get. I have no complaints. So I don't mind doing a little bit of my own fiddle farting around if it saves money. So. But there we go, that's it. Wow, that just required just that little bit of sanding. Okay, so I'll probably mark that 50 cents when I get a chance. But again, I'm completely new at this, just like you folks will be if you ever decide to get this one or another one. And now we got our Cinco. Okay, we got one that's just a little big, and one that's a little tight, and that pretty much rounds out those. So I'll just move on to. But here you go. I mean, I finally got everything all squared away. I got them all. Obviously, I admitted I'm a noob. This is a brand new product to me. You can see that there is a lot of versatility. So I think once a person got used to this, sat down with a magic marker and made some, you know, you'll probably be a lot better off, but you know, at least you saw the process now, so we'll call that a learning curve. Start small and go big. So I will start with the quarter. Okay, and the Cinco. All right, so they had talked about making sure you lube it. If you have any trouble putting the pieces together, put a little lithium grease in there. I'm going to lube it when I put it away, but for right now it'll be okay. So you would take your bottom die holder or punch holder, whatever they want to call it. I'm going to look for the 3/8. I think it's kind of obvious, but it never hurts to measure. So I'm going to assume 375, there it is. So I will put these other things off to the side here. Okay, set that down. And then you put the bottom die. That's why it was just much easier for me. I mean, you can sit there and double check, but I just like the fact if it's pink up, then I know I'm good. So, all right, so that, and then you put the, oh, I see what the other part they were, oh. So I can see that there is just a little bit of user input on it, but that's fine. The outside edge here probably is a little bit, so like I said, you know what, for the price that they charge, this little bit of, believe me, it's going to be well worth it. So we'll put our die back in, 3/8. Well, yeah, see now that fits real nice, it's not flopping around. Quarter, wow, fits in there nice and square. Put the top on. Lube, so, oh yeah, I'm gonna lube up the punch with this, you know, Peppy Lube stuff, but I know some people they use Ivory soap. There's all kinds of different things, but I find that this works pretty good even with the Harbor Freight punches. Okay, and here we go. Let's give it a try and see what happens. Wow, way softer than, okay, you, obviously my microphone probably made that sound bad, but trust me, that's only half as bad as the Harbor Freight snap. Those are pretty brutal. So I'm not sure, did it go, nope, it's still in there. Now that we did that, we just take it apart, pull the punch through. Okay, so now it looks like I've got things that are kind of stuck. There you go. Wreck the coin. Okay. So that works really nice for that. That punch looks nice. It's a punch, it's going to do that. That came right out of there. And I would assume, looks nice, just regular wear, everyday normal stuff. Alright, we have our coin. Now, here is the part that I'm really excited about. And I come up with 0.289, 0.288, 0.290, 0.290. Wow. Plus or minus 2 thousandths, and you can't always trust, you know, a caliper. It's not a mic, so micrometer. But wow, that is one straight, nicely punched hole. That's exciting. I'm really happy about that. That's been my biggest problem with trying to make these coin rings. I just end up screwing up that Harbor Freight thing, and I mean, we're talking 10, 20 thousandths, but you know, when you're folding it, it ends up being crooked. Now I can sand it, yeah, it's great. So, and as you know, then you just would take your little deburring tool, or you can take a file and clean it up like that. And usually a little bit more careful, but now that is ready to be folded with absolutely no problems. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so now I got that. Let's just go move on right down the line. Let me start putting these away in, like I was saying, bring them in there. Okay, so the next one I wanted to do was the Cinco. Is that 437? No, that's a half inch. There we go, 437. Yep. Okay. So we will do, well, again, this might be the same problem as that the quarter had. I'll keep that separate so I can write quarter in there. Maybe this isn't going to just drop right in, you know, yep, I'm going to. Take a quick second and clean that up, and like I was saying, once you do it, you'll never have to do it again. So just take a, oh, I can even see that flashing on there. It's just like a little sharp edge. Okay, there we go. Put the top on, looks good. Move the punch. Sure it goes in straight. Make sure everything's lined up straight. Okay. And I see what I just did there. I made a little bit more of a stroke. And I think I might have got the, see if it, yep, the slug actually came out that time. Okay, and again we got the deal stuck on there. Okay. Came off. There we go, came out nice, nothing broken. Alright, let's see how accurate or inaccurate this is. Zero it out. 288. Oh, 286. 286. 284. Well, what are we talking to? So 4 thousandths. Wow. I mean, I think again I can live with that. So that's real nice. We'll put that off to the side. That little holder. All right, now on to the Kennedy. All right, so the Kennedy, I said I was going to do a half inch, right? Right. That might be half inch. There we go, it's half inch. Okay. 16ths and then 5/8. Yep, okay. So we got pink up. I like it. So it stays nice. Got that down. Oh, lube up. Again, you know, if a person does or doesn't want to lube, I just think that it's going to save the punches. They do recommend and ask you to. They don't really tell you what kind. That's just what I use. Okay. Nice. It came out. Guess it don't really matter, does it? Probably like that. I think I did it wrong the last time, but I don't know if there is a wrong, but yep. Okay. Looks good. Alright, let's check out Kennedy. How'd he work out? Okay, 0. Yep, 0. 348.5. 351.5. 3 thousandths. 347. 352. You know, so again, now we moved up to 5 thousandths, but again, that's not. And I'm not even sure that that's, you know, there might be a burr I have to check on, so I'm not going to be, and it's a caliper, I wouldn't trust it fully. It's close enough. That's good. Okay, and lastly, should have known that was going to happen. So at least I know I don't have to, these 4 I won't have to sand anymore. Okay, so then we were going to do this, obviously the 5/8 is the massive one, so I'm not going to waste time measuring. Even though I did tell you should double check. Pink up, pink up. And now we're putting some heft in her. Wow. Okay, that took a little bit of effort. Look what happened there. It just took a lot of effort. Everything looks fine. Wow, that is one thick slug. Okay. Well, let's get that off of there. Like this. Yeah. There we go. Okay, we'll set her down. Get the mallet out of the way. Quickly check where we're at. Okay. So here we have 470, 467, 468, 469. Wow, I'm telling you, these are some straight holes. I am really happy. So that's really great. All right, so you see how it works. That's working good. They talk about they'd like you to wipe them down with oil. You know, they're just suggesting it. I would agree because if it's tooled steel. Here in Minnesota, we're going to have, you know, hot, cold, condensation. We get some pretty humid weather in the summers, so, you know, and I'll probably be keeping these out in the garage. So all I would suggest doing is I take the same thing I use for firearms and knives is this stuff called Barricade, and it's a real good product. It doesn't hurt plastic, it doesn't hurt leather, wood, but yet it protects the metals real good. So I just do something like that, wipe her down a little bit, make sure it gets on there real good everywhere. Put on the pink part. Maybe it'll just get all around. It's not a. And then with the one I've just taken and done that, I'm going to fold this up. Put this in this particular holder. There we go. Ooh, just barely. I had plans for them. So anyway, I'm going to do the same with each of these. I'm going to keep those like that, keep the plastic things in here. And there you go. I have a nice punch set that works really well. I'm real happy with it. You've seen right here when you just brand new use it. I've never used it before. I just opened it probably an hour and a half ago now. At least I hope you enjoyed seeing the Legacy brand Mega Coin Tool Ring center punch and spacer sets. And yeah, good luck to you punching your holes straight. All right, thank you.